Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Ashazam Mustaqim from 4D1, ID number 00858-052. So today, I would like to talk about one of the mega project in the world, which is Panama Canal in Panama. So first of all, what is Panama Canal? Panama Canal is an artificial waterway in Panama that connects the Atlantic Ocean with the Pacific Ocean, and it divides the North America and South America. So let's say you want to travel from San Francisco to New York. Despite having to travel around the South America, you can get past through the Panama Canal and save about 8,000 travel distance. So the idea of creating Panama Canal was back to 1500 by King Charles I of Spain, where he wanted to create a water passage across the Isthmus of Panama. Then, France, led by Ferdinand de Lesseps, the builder of the Suez Canal in Egypt, was the first to attempt the impossible. But he failed miserably because he was too confident with his idea. The France left the site in 1889, and on 1894, the company declared bankruptcy. Then the US purchased the French assets for 40 million in 1902, but the rights was rejected by Colombian government. This is because back in 1902, Panama was still under the Colombian government. So the US support Panama to independence, and they succeeded. For new government, Panama received 10 million in exchange for granting the US exclusive and permanent position of the Panama Canal Zone. So the question is, how does the Panama Canal works? So the Panama Canal works has a water lock system that acts like a massive elevator. When the ships enter the locks, they are raised by water from the lake. So Gatton Lake is the man-made lake. So let's say you are from Atlantic Ocean. You will need first pass through the Gatton locks, and like an elevator, you will be raised to meet the water level at the Gatton Lake. After you get through the Gatton Lake, you will meet the Miraflores Lake, and like the same process, you will go to the Miraflores Lock. Then you will get to the Pacific Ocean. The ship was traversing up to 26 meters above the sea level. That's how high the elevator raises your ships. So next, how does the Panama Canal work? On 4 May 1904, the project was officially commenced by the US. Unlike the French idea that want to cut the mountain down to the sea level, the US raised the sea up to the mountain level. This is what the French proposed. They want to cut the mountain here so the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean meets. The idea seems too impossible. That's why the company was declared bankrupt. Then, how does the US want to raise the sea up to the mountain level? This is by building the steel gate separating the canals into multiple chambers with different water level that called lock system. The railway built by French before was enlarged and crucial in transporting millions of tons of soil from the cut through the mountain to the dam across the Chagres River. Construction of the locks began with the pouring of concrete at Gatun in August 1909. Built in pair, each chamber is 110 feet wide by 100 feet long and embedded with culverts. This is the culvert that leverage gravity to raise and lower water level. This is where the water flow in the locks. So this is the front view of the lock system that I just said. The three locks along the canal road lift the ships 85 feet above sea level to the man-made Gatton Lake in the middle. Hollow buoyant lock gates were also built, varying in height from 47 to 82 feet. The entire enterprise was powered by electricity and run through a control board. After that, on 10 October 1913, President Woodrow Wilson sent a signal from the White House, which is in the United States, by telegraph, which triggered the explosion that destroyed the Gamboa Dike. This flooded the Culebra Cut, which is the only dry section in Panama Canal, thereby joining the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans via the Panama Canals. And on 15 August 1914, the Panama Canal was formally opened for business. So there are many challenges that arises when the US tried to build this canal. First, the Culebra Cut. It was a ditch 45 feet deep and at least 300 feet wide through an 8-mile mountainous stretch. The risk of death of the worker ranged from drowning to electrocution. More than 100 million cubic meters of dirt had to be moved, and the work consumed more than 8 million kilograms of dynamite in 3 years alone. So Culubracat is a dry area in the Panama Canal where all the works of log is done. The next challenge is the tidal difference. This challenge met was a problem by the French. The Atlantic and Pacific Ocean are different in heights. Not commonly known is the fact that the two oceans have different sea level and different levels of high tide. At the entrance of the Panama Canal, the Pacific Oceans can rise as much as 20 feet, but 45 miles away, the difference between high tide and low tide in the Atlantic is just 3 feet. This will cause a huge torrent of force because of the difference of the tide. And the last challenge that exists while the US building the Panama Canal was the hazardous environment. The jungle is swarming with mosquitoes with unknown disease. An estimated three-quarters of the French engineers who joined Lesseps in the Panama died within 3 months of arriving. And after 3 years after construction, the death rate rises for up to 200 per month. The diseases are like yellow fever and malaria. This is because the scientists have not yet conducted studies on the diseases that exist in the place of the construction. So the conclusion is Panama Canal is one of the 7 wonders of the modern world, making it one of the best mega projects in the world and one of the best projects made by the US. Despite its challenge, Panama Canal now transiting about 14,000 ships every year. The canal links the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, saving ships having to travel around South America, increases business between Atlantic and Pacific oceans. So, this all from me. Thank you.